In today's tutorial, we are going to be making the Hello World International program that looks like this. You'll notice that once again it says Hello World, but now we have this group box that has 3 radial buttons, and when you select a language, Hello World changes to that particular language. So that's the program that we're going to make today. To start off with, we begin in Visual C# 2010 as normal, and we go File, New Project. Make sure you pick Windows Form Application, and once again, give your program a name that makes sense for it. Click OK. C# will go off and create your stub for your program. I'm just going to pin the toolbar to the side. We've seen all this before. To begin with, select Solution and go File, Save Hello World International As. Choose your desktop so that you know where it is, and save your program so that as you're modifying things in your program, you can save continuously so you don't lose anything. Next thing we're going to do is change the name of our form because Form 1 is not a good name. So we're going to call it the Hello World form. And say yes. Next thing we're going to do is change the property on the form itself. So we're going to just change the text at the top to Hello World International, and we're going to move up and we're going to change the name of the form. Remember, it's a 3-letter prefix, FRM, which means form and then the name. Next, we will go and get our label, and we're going to change the name to LBL, Hello World, because it's a label, and the text we're going to set initially as Hello World in English. Also going to change the font size so that it's easier to see. There we go. As I mentioned, on this program we have a group box. If you move down to Containers, there is an object called Group Box. So we're just going to select the group box. We're going to make it actually bigger than the form and then just sort of resize our form around our group box. The 3-letter prefix for a group box is GRB, and I'm going to call it language since we're changing the language in this group box. And I'm just going to put the title, so the text goes here, and I'm going to make it language so that it shows up there. Now with the group box selected, we're going to move back up and select radio buttons. So we're going to place the radio buttons inside the group box, and we're going to put 3 of them in there. 1 for English, 1 for French, and 1 for Spanish. So we're going to select the group box. The text for the first one we're going to call English, and the name is going to be RAD, English, because the 3-letter prefix RAD is for a radio button. The second one, RAD, French, and the text we're going to change to French. And lastly is Spanish. You can format these and line them up so that they're more evenly spaced by going to Format, Horizontal, and Make Equal. And then the spacing is all equal between them, and then you can use your cursor to center them more nicely. There we go. So I'm going to save my program again, and we're going to run it. And hopefully you'll remember from yesterday that, yes, we have a fully functional program, but we haven't written any code, so it's not going to do it. So last time when we selected the menu, it would exit. This time when we select the radio buttons, we want something to happen. So what we're going to do is go back to our form, and we're going to select English, and we're going to double click on that. Just before that, you'll notice that the property for the text for that radio button is English. This property can not only be changed in the properties list, but you can actually change it in code as well. So we're going to double click on that, and we're just going to get rid of the pin so you can see it, and you'll notice that radio button English, when you click on it, we want to change it. So what we're going to do is we're going to say this. Notice IntelliSense pops up, which means the form. And on our form, we have a label called Hello World. Once again, notice IntelliSense pops up. You do not need to write all of the word. You can just press tab and it will do it for you. So on our form, we have a label, and it has a property called text. And what we're going to do is we're going to assign that to Hello World. Notice I said assign. In computer class, that is an assignment statement, not an equal sign. We're going to go back to our form, and this time we're going to select French. So we're going to double click on that, and we're going to do the same kind of thing. This dot LBL Hello World dot its property text is going to be assigned, and this time you put the French version of Hello World. And lastly, we're going to click on Spanish. We're going to do the exact same thing. This form has a label that has a property text, and we will be assigning it to the Spanish version of Hello World. So now when we run our program, when you click on the radio button, the text will change to the appropriate language. And that's all we're going to do today.